Welcome back to Afternoon Express, where we are keeping things all fishy. We're making fried fish wraps with a creamy Clover Bliss double cream plain yogurt coleslaw. This is zesty and refreshing and an ideal treat for lunch or supper. Now, Chef Julie, this sounds incredible.
Yep, I think it's going to be delicious.
Yeah. Now, Chef, when we were to just now, we've been debunking myths and misunderstandings when it comes to fish. So when we are preparing something like this, especially deep frying fish, what's the best fish to use?
Well, I don't think there's a best fish to use. We're using angel fish today. Of course, a sustainable fish is a good fish to use. Okay. Hake is also delicious. Snook, when the snook is running, would also be delicious. Yellowtail. The carpenter would also be very delicious deep fried. Versatile fish use here. So, Dumi, what do we need to put the rest of the elements together?
I've got one of the most important tasks, Bliss. I'm making the batter. And we all know that fried fish is not fried fish unless the batter, passes the test, you know? And to make sure that we've got a nice crispy base, a nice crispy batter, we've got some flour that I've just added in here. And I always do this, Bliss, so that when I'm frying something, I like to add a bit of cornstarch because it adds a little texture of crispiness to it. So into this, I'm going to add a bit of salt as well, some pepper. And instead of using fresh herbs this time, we're going for the dry herbs. And I'm still sticking to the parsley because we want that beautiful freshness of the parsley. And then we've also got some lemon and herb salt that I've added to this as well. And just for, a bit of color, why not? Paprika always works. You can even add a bit of cayenne pepper, but just make sure that it's not too much because then it becomes overly too spicy and hot for people that might not manage. And then, Bliss, whenever I make fried fish, I think it's very hard being Cape Townian because Cape Town is being judged by their fried fish. Yeah. I've had a couple of different places that I've had the fish at, and I have to say that Cape Town for me comes tops when it comes to the fish.
Well, now that Dumi has answered the social media question, just a reminder, we are asking you what part of South Africa has the absolute best fish. Dumi has put her votes in for Cape Town, and I'm pretty sure Chef Julie will agree being in Cape Town. But we want to find out from you, what is your answer? Remember to use that hashtag Afternoon Express in all of your comments. As we are speaking about fish, a very good accompaniment for fish is a delicious coleslaw. So I'm on coleslaw duty. I've already created the sauce for the coleslaw, or the dressing rather. I've added some mayonnaise, I've added some honey, I've also added some cumin powder. Let me also give a little spritz of lemon in there, and then this is what it is all about. It is definitely about this delicious Clover Bliss double cream plain yogurt, and this is going to add that double indulgence, making sure that it's tasty, nutritious and good every single time. What I love about this also is that it's a source of 10 vitamins, making sure that anyone is sorted out in the household, whether you're kosher or halal.
But Liz, I also want to mention on this fact that this batter that we're making, because you're making such a beautifully tangy sauce, Balisa, it's going to work perfectly. The one thing you've done, which I absolutely love, is marrying mayonnaise and yogurt. For me, a coleslaw is not complete without the touch of yogurt in your coleslaw, because it has to have a balance of sorts. But Balisa, I just want to touch on something I'm about to do now. As you can see, I've got the dry ingredients for my batter, and I like to whisk it beforehand just to aerate it, because once we're going to add the liquid to it and fry it, you want to have that crispiness and lightness of it. And instead of just using normal water or just using any other liquid, I'm using sparkling water just for those air bubbles and, like we said, crispy, nice batter on the outside. And I always prefer to have it a little thicker because you want it to hold onto those pieces of fish. You don't want it to be too runny. Now, Julie, I'm going to hand this over to you, and you're going to do the lovely job of covering our fish with this batter, and then we're going to deep fry it until it's nice and golden brown.
Sure, I've just portioned the angel fish and taken out the little middle bone and seasoned it with salt and pepper, and I'm dusting it in flour, and then it's going to go into the batter.
Now, what would we need to do to make sure, like, if we're working with this kind of fish, we definitely need to then make sure that the temperature is at the right amount, because you don't want to overcook it where the oil is too hot, where it becomes brown on the outside, but it hasn't even cooked on the inside. So the best trick to check your oil, whether it's hot enough, just insert a wooden spoon, the tip of a wooden spoon. You'll see the air bubbles there. That'll help you decide whether it's ready or not. And then if it is too hot, just cool it down first before you add your fish into there. Julie, you can actually go in and fry our fish for us.
Brilliant. I love that fact, Dumi, that you brought up, because not a lot of us have those thermometers in our households to be able to check if our oil is hot enough, and it's very essential to make sure that the hot is ready for that fish to go in. Now, it seems like you've definitely given a healthy batter, or rather you've coated the fish quite healthily in that batter.
Yeah, it's going to be delicious. Looks like it's crispy and full of flavor.
Full of flavor every time. And here on the coleslaw section, I've added some normal cabbage rather to the purple cabbage. Added some carrot, added some red onion, and then added some spring onion. Now I'm going in with that delicious, courtesy of Clover Bliss, double cream plain yogurt, the dressing here for it. So for today, we used the 1 kg in the Clover Bliss, but worry not, they also make it in a 500 gram to take home. Of course, we also have a 175 gram pack that is just on the go indulgence. I love that. So Chef, how long will that be in there for?
I'd say another minute or two.
Another minute or two. Beautiful.
Just give it some nice color.
Well, to get this recipe, head over to afternoonexpress.co.za.
With the creamy decadence of double cream bliss from Clover, yogurt has never been so irresistible.
Made with love by Clover.
Now, Chef, those fried fresh fish looks delicious. And Dumi, you on the folding duties there?
Yes, Balisa. So I've just wrapped up one of our wraps already. Just put a layer of the coleslaw at the bottom, added the fish on top, and I'm going to continue wrapping the last one. And that's it, Balisa. Our recipe is simple, easy, and delicious.
Easy and delicious, but we are not done yet. We've got a real winter warmer treat headed your way as we're making a delectable caramel dumplings when we return.